What is going on, everybody? James Blue Tech coming here today, and I want to talk about The Last of Us Part 2. And this is going to definitely get into some spoilers here, so if you have not played the game and you don't want to get this game spoiled for you, definitely click off this video, go play it yourself, or even go watch your favorite YouTuber, go live stream it, or you can watch their gameplay and just kind of come back here and watch this video after that. But I want to get into how they could have actually made this game better. In my personal opinion, they had all the right pieces. They were just kind of placed in wrong areas. First off, big spoiler here. Like I said, I gave you guys a spoiler warning earlier. But so Joel ends up dying in The Last of Us Part 2 at the hands of Abby. Unfortunately, I hated this. I did. And not so much the fact that Joel died, but as how he died. And not only how he died, but also when in the game. He only 2 hours into the game, he's killed. This is a 20-hour game from what I've seen, and this is ridiculous. You kill him off super early into the game. Not only that though, but him and Tommy were being stupid. Not only did they divulge their information, gave away their names, like said like, hey, you can come back with us over to our camp. It's about like an hour or so up this way or whatever. Or they're giving away so much information, and the Joel that we knew from the first Last of Us game would never have done any of this. And then to anybody out there who's saying, well, it's been 4 or 5 years, he's gotten kind of comfortable, but my argument to that though, he has spent 20 years from the beginning of the first game up until the ending of the first game. He spent 20 years living in that kind of world, knowing that he has to basically fend for himself, and everything we see him go through in the first game. That's only a fragment of what he's dealt with in his entire life, in that lifespan over those course of those 20 years. How can he lose that much of his survival instinct in just basically a quarter of the time that he spent in that world prior to that moment? That doesn't make sense to me, because he doesn't know these people. He doesn't know anything about them. And in Abby's character, I'm sorry, but I understand where Neil Druckmann was going with trying to have us sympathize with her by playing as her for the later half of the game, and seeing basically her interact with her friends and see the things she goes through. But the problem is, though, is that by having her kill off Joel in pretty much the beginning of the game, nobody's going to sympathize with her at that point. Everybody has already formed their opinion of Abby prior to playing with her. If they wanted to do it right, because at the point where you turn from Ellie's perspective into Abby's perspective, it's when she already has Tommy at gunpoint, and you don't know if she's going to shoot Tommy or not, and then Trent goes over to her perspective, and then kind of goes, then you play Abby's portion, I think goes 4 years prior, basically the ending of the first game. My argument to that though is they should have had that point happen. First off, they should have had Joel be killed off much later in the game. I would say swap out the Tommy scene with Joel, and then have it swap then. Don't outright kill Joel right then and there. Have it so you're questioning whether or not Abby is or is not going to kill Joel, because at that time, Joel saved her life on at least 2 occasions there. He saved her butt on a couple of occasions in that encounter with the infected. And so you have a segment here where she has the golf club or has the shotgun or whatever like that though, and she hasn't done anything yet. I would say this takes place before she shoots in the leg with the shotgun. And I'm sorry, massive spoilers. But then you switch over to Abby's perspective from 4 years ago, because at that point, the entire time you're playing Abby's perspective, you're thinking to yourself, okay, these are the things she's dealt with over the 4 years. Is she going to go through with it? Is she going to kill Joel? And then have that happen where she kills Joel and go through at that point, because then that would be an even bigger shock, because at that point, you don't know what she's going to do. You see a different side of Abby, and you see that she may or may not kill Joel because she is deep down a good person inside. But when you don't show that, first off, you don't even show that she even has any kind of remorse when it comes to killing and things like that. When it comes to killing and everything like that, she obviously does not show any remorse whatsoever. It's almost like she enjoys it in a way, because it takes one of her friends to actually tell her to stop it with the killing, to prevent her from killing. She, in a way, she enjoys it. Where in Ellie's case, you could see where she has remorse. She regrets doing some of these things, but she does it because she has to. So, and I feel that that was just a huge mistake on Neil Druckmann's part, on Naughty Dog's part, to, like I said, put the pieces in the way they were. I think the pieces were there. They could have had them done properly, but by killing off Joel so early in the game, everybody kind of formed their opinion about Abby, and she was an unsympathetic character. In addition to actually having it where she didn't really show any kind of remorse for some of the things she was doing. She's done some atrocious things. And I could also argue the fact too, because I was watching another reviewer do this though, and he also said that he felt like it was playing like a Last of Us Part 3 or something like that though, at some points. My argument could have been having Ellie be the entirety of a Last of Us Part 2 and then have a Left Behind similar DLC for later on down the line where you could play Abby's perspective then. I would say that would have been a better also option as well, because that way so you could play as the entire Last of Us Part 2 game as Ellie, and then if you wanted to see Abby's perspective, you could have through the DLC. And you could still, in the main storyline, you can actually get the point across that, hey, Abby's father was one of the doctors that Joel killed in the first game, and you can get her perspective on things without having to take up half the game playing as her. And so that's kind of my take on it. I feel that the Last of Us Part 2 was definitely a massive lost opportunity. They could have gone for something much better. I don't think that Neil Druckmann was intentionally going for something that to piss off fans or anything like that. I will give him the benefit of the doubt, and I think he was trying to actually make a great game here. And honestly, there are elements of a good game here. Honestly, you could say the graphics are amazing, the environment's amazing. I still think the motion capture's fantastic. The gameplay can be a little clunky sometimes, but all in all, though, it had the opportunity to be such a great game. But I feel the way things were placed, the way certain characters were portrayed, it definitely did not come across as great of a game as I feel that it should have, and as Neil and the Naughty Dog team wanted it to be. I know there's a petition going on right now to actually remake The Last of Us Part 2. I don't think that's going to happen because Last of Us Part 2 is definitely selling massively, very well, at least with physical copies. It obliterated, from what I've heard, the previous sales of the first game. So I don't think that Naughty Dog and Neil Druckmann have any incentive to want to actually make a remake of this game, especially since it just came out. I would love to see a remake. I would love to see it redone. I would love to see it done better, in my opinion, though. But I don't know. This is kind of my long rant on the whole situation. I definitely think The Last of Us Part 2 was not the best game. It's not as bad as some people are saying, but it's also definitely not as great as some people are saying either. But yeah, that's my take on it. But let me know what you guys think down in the comment section below. Do you guys actually think Last of Us Part 2 was a great game? Do you guys think it was complete crap? I would love to know what you guys think. Let me know down in the comment section below. As always, if you guys want to catch further gaming news and tech reviews, you guys can click the subscribe button down below. And as always, this has been James Blue Eye Tech. I'm going to catch you guys next time.